This is my daughter, Matrice Richards. My daughter, a citizen, was failed by the authorities who are hired to protect and serve us. They are not simply here to enforce and arrest us, but they also have a duty to protect us from harm from ourselves and to others. And clearly, they knew that something was wrong with her. When I called the police department before she was even taken into the facility to be booked, I spoke with the deputy. I told him, this is not my daughter. This is not characteristic of her. She does not drink. She's always the designated driver. Something is wrong with her. She seems to be in some type of crisis. So clearly, even before she was booked, and unknown to me, they were already suspecting that there was a problem with her. And they did nothing. From my understanding, they have the opportunity, perhaps even the obligation, once inebriation has been ruled out, which they're claiming that they ruled it out, then they have to find out, what is this odd behavior? Was it because it was a shift change? No one wanted to do the paperwork?
That's right.
Was it because, I don't know, she didn't belong to this area and she doesn't have a criminal background, and now that she's not drunk, we got to get rid of her? What was it? They failed her. She is suffering somewhere because we believe she is still alive, but they're not doing enough to search for her. We are suffering every day, not knowing what to do to find my daughter. They know this area. They have the means to daily search for her. I believe they have an obligation and a duty to continue to look for her until they rescue her. She can be hurt somewhere. My understanding, the last place she was seen was in a community off of Piruma by the Saddleback Lodge, which is very steep, very terraneous, very seclusive. Someone heard voices, no, not voices, a voice of a woman talking to herself in a vacant house, and apparently there's many vacant houses in that area. The community has been unaware until they got wind of our efforts, not the sheriff's department's efforts, but our efforts, putting flyers out there, making contact with the neighborhood, just really trying to find my daughter. They knew none of this from the police department, and the community is outraged. They saw the sheriff's department come to that vacant house once, and that was almost a week ago, if not longer, and have not been back since. Although the sheriffs have searched the Montecito area, they have not, from my understanding, according to eyewitnesses in that community, have not searched the area where they heard a voice of a young woman talking to herself. I appeal to you, please, please help us encourage these officers, Los Angeles Sheriff's Department, Los Angeles Police Department, to target that Saddle Creek Lodge area. There's many vacant homes. These homes are large. There's terraneous areas. She could be anywhere just wandering. I know my daughter is not an alcoholic. She's not a drug addict. She is not the type of person who walks around stoned. She is a responsible young lady, and I said that from the beginning. And now we know it to be a fact. She was not inebriated. She was having a mental crisis for whatever reason. It doesn't matter. A lot of us suffer with mental issues and anguish, but because of the stigma associated with it, we're afraid to discuss it. So we suffer in silence. She was possibly suffering in silence. As a matter of fact, I would be willing to bet she's been suffering in silence. And for fear of not wanting to upset us, she kept it to herself. She knew we would help, but she wanted to show, I can make it. And since her disappearance, I have been surprised to learn of other young professional women who come to me crying, I'm going through something too. But until I saw your daughter, I didn't share it with anybody. This is an issue. We depend on the sheriff's department to protect us. And if they see that someone is ranting about being from Mars, get them some help. Help us put pressure on them to get to that area and not just search one day, search every day. They have not searched since Saturday. We need your help to put pressure on them. They should be searching for her every day. I believe she is still alive, and I will not give up hope that she is alive until we have her safe in our arms. We need your help to make that happen. We need your help. That's all I have to say.